Jump scare. Nah, I'm kidding. Silent Hill doesn't fucking do that. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. It is the first day of Silent Hill month, and as you can tell, I had nothing better to do. No, dead serious. Welcome in. I'm happy to be having an actual themed month finally. Theoretically, I should be doing this later, and not. Oh no, people are in the fucking ad void. God damn it. Either way, I probably should be waiting till I'm a little more established to be doing themed months, but fuck it, I don't care. I feel like doing things. And what's my least favorite Silent Hill? Is that even a fucking question? That fake ass Silent Hill interactive movie bullshit that was not even close to Silent Hill, which wasn't even good in the first place, and was a giant fucking waste of time. Other than that one, also easy. Downpour. Who the fuck would actually want to play Downpour? I played Downpour. I played the Downpour demo for 15 minutes, put it down, and said, I'll watch somebody else play through this. I didn't even do that with Homecoming. But, yeah, that's kind of why we're here, though. Which is to say, well, yeah, actually, the title is pretty fucking accurate. I'm here to commit Silent Hill social suicide. Some of the characters at Downpour were at least. I'm gonna be honest. I can wait for Townfall because I know it's just gonna be the same fucking thing again, and it's just gonna be bad. We had Silent Hill Hef. We had a good Silent Hill game that was made by the Eastern developers who know how to make a Silent Hill game. And now we're going to have Western developers come back in and fuck it all up. That's how it works. The movie was not... No, get out. Get out. The movie was not good. You can't call something that was made entirely with the point of fan service and putting a director's wife in the spotlight a good movie. The Silent Hill movie is an absolute abortion. It's just as bad as the Monster Hunter movie in the fact that it completely and totally misses the point of the entire series, completely and totally misses the point of the thematics of the series, and the most damning thing, it's literally just fucking fan service. Oh, look, it's the Fog World, guys. Remember that? Oh, look, it's Pyramid Head. Look, Raven, I know you're biased, but you can't let bias blind you to the fact that the product is shit. Which is probably a good thing as to the reason I'm doing this whole thing, because... Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I might be about to stand here on fucking stream committing social suicide in the Silent Hill community, but I will also be the first person to say that the Silent Hill movies fucking suck. And also Silent Hill Homecoming fucking sucks. But, and this is a giant fucking asterisk, Silent Hill Homecoming is hated on for so many reasons that are just objectively wrong. It infuriates me. Like I said, I will be the first to admit that Silent Hill Homecoming is a bad game. It is a terrible, terrible game. And it also misses the mark on so many things that make a good Silent Hill game a Silent Hill game. That honestly, when people call it the beginning of the shitification of the Silent Hill franchise, they're not wrong. They really, really are not wrong. But Silent Hill Homecoming does have some things about it that are extremely well executed, that people hate on for no reason other than they hear the game is bad and don't want to invest any more time into it because the game is bad. So, as someone who has played through Homecoming enough to 100% the game, to get every single ending, to get all the unlockable bullshit, I'm going to stand here with my head right firmly in the guillotine to fucking pronounce that Silent Hill Homecoming has plenty of things that make it fucking redeemable. And the fact that people just hate on it is just fucking crowdsourcing. There's not a single independent thought in that bubble. It's just the entire fucking Silent Hill franchise community hating on something and not bothering to look into it to see if it's actually fucking good. How come Downpour is being sold for $900? Probably because like a couple thousand copies got literally burned in a fire. That's probably why. Like literally, there was a whole ass Downpour bonfire where a bunch of people took their game cases and disc and burned them. It's a pretty big thing. But no, I'm gonna sit here and fucking literally just end my existence in the Silent Hill community by saying that Silent Hill Homecoming has things that people need to recognize are done well, and they're not gonna want to hear it. This is literally me just committing to the bit so hard I will alienate myself from the community that I've been a part of for over a decade. I was around on the wiki when the circumcision thing happened. I remember those days. The entire god damn. Hey, Blue, if you play Downpour on stream, if I bought you Downpour, would you play it on stream? I would rather fucking live leak myself. Hell no. I am not touching that thing with a fucking 10-foot pole. Downpour is an actual abortion. 100 subs, Blue. Nah, 1 million. I'm serious. I'm not playing fucking Downpour. Like, as much as people hate on Homecoming and are partially right about it, Downpour is actually an unplayable mess that is not even a Silent Hill game. It misses every mark of a Silent Hill game. I will go on a rant about how bad Downpour is if you fucking want. I'll do that later on in the fucking month. Oh, I have redeems, huh? Thank you. Stretch. Okay. I could use that. I've been doing I did 5 hours of fucking yard work today. I'm exhausted. But no, I'm dead serious. There's nothing on earth that could get me to play fucking Downpour. I absolutely hate Downpour with every fiber of my being. Like, it to Silent Hill is like, damn, that one Resident Evil fucking gambling thing to the Resident Evil. Like, it's so non-real. I don't know. Hello, welcome in. Wait, why are you taking next week off? I'm a tired bugger. Things I need to catch up on. All right. I'm going to petition you to try not to give up the entire week and maybe just stream like two days instead of 4 or 5. But if you really need the full week to rest up, I'm not gonna fight you on it. Okay? I love you, Kimmy. Launch Space Thirds with the Artemis 2 is about to launch. And it's ooh, cool. Oh, that's actually sick. If I didn't already have things planned, I would fucking bring that up for everybody to watch. Oh, okay. Seek already approved it. Okay. Same way about certain horror games, but you know exactly how I feel towards Outlast 2. Yeah. Unfortunately, Outlast 2 is kind of bad too. Yeah. But no, I'm here to. Yeah, I literally can't put it any other way. I'm here to commit social suicide of the Silent Hill community by defending Silent Hill Homecoming on certain merits. This is not a joke. This is real. That's not the April Fool's. The April Fool's comes later. Me actually doing this is unfortunately real. Outlast 2 gives you the ick, and you know how much it takes in order to give you the ick. It's supposed to give you the ick, though, because it's about cults. And cults are actually that fucking disgusting, you know? Hello, Peachy. Welcome in. Thankfully, you came in right before I started my rant. because unfortunately I have a preface. And that preface is, I wanted to have a nicely done, fully animated PowerPoint presentation ready for this, so that I could actually like make sense in my points. But unfortunately, life comes at you fast, and I am going to have to freeball this. So be warned, y'all are getting a classic unfocused blue rant. I cannot help this. You cannot help this. No one can help this. Pray to God it makes sense.
Someone grab some popcorn.
Yeah, no, grab your drinks, grab your snacks, because I got you covered. This is going to be, well, passionate. And I think the first place to start with Silent Hill Homecoming is bringing up the issue that people should and need to realize is the main flaw of Silent Hill Homecoming. And that is, Silent Hill Homecoming is fan bait. What do I mean by this? Silent Hill Homecoming goes so far out of its way to reference both the old Silent Hill movie and anything reference worthy in the Silent Hill series that it has no fucking identity of its own. And I say this with my whole chest. Silent Hill Homecoming had so much fucking potential to be a good game if they just fucking let it be its own game. But no, they were too busy referencing other Silent Hill games, too busy referencing the shitty old Silent Hill movie, that the game doesn't have an identity. It's literally just a Silent Hill fan game made by fans for fans, with vague Silent Hill references in it. And it pisses me off immensely. Yeah, Raven has heard all this already. I've hit them with the 3-hour fucking Homecoming rant before. Yes, since you bought it for me, you can, dear. All right, but I am literally starting off with the two biggest complaints I have about the Silent Hill fucking game, Silent Hill Homecoming, as far as monsters go. I am not playing around. I am bringing all the guns to the table. But first, I have to make it so I can actually use these because they're currently saved as fucking WebP. And I can't exactly do that. But there are two monsters in Silent Hill Homecoming that completely and totally delegitimize the game by themselves. By themselves. Two fucking monsters in the goddamn game that completely and totally delegitimize it. How insane is that for somebody to be able to say without having to fucking blink an eye, without having to fucking like hold their breath and try and convince themselves to say? This is just objective fact. This is just a objective fact. Yes, they did in fact bring back who you think they brought back. Let me get these both ready. Bring them up. So, the two monsters I'm going to be discussing first, getting them the fuck out the way, because they go hand in hand with how they ruin the game, are... Hold on, I gotta resize this bastard. Huge. But I guess it kind of makes sense. They are the nurses and Pyramid Head. And surprisingly enough in all this, the nurse is the one of these two that is forgivable. Specifically because of how the game is functioned. And like the story it is attempting to tell. Pyramid Head, however, is fucking bullshit. And we will get to him in a second. But I'm starting off with the nurse first, because the nurse actually has something about it that makes it so it is not an entire fucking fan bait, and there is legitimately a reason for it to be there. It is a terrible reason. I'm not going to fucking lie. It is a horrible, horrible reason, but it is a reason nonetheless. And I cannot deny that fact. That reason, all right, obviously because I'm doing a fucking rant about a game and I'm going whole hog into it, spoilers. I should get that out of the way right now. Spoilers! ... Okay. The nurses are relevant and somewhat make sense within the realm of the game, despite the fact that they are clearly only put there as fan service, because the character you are playing as is number one, in a mental hospital, number two, heavily fucking repressed, and three, has done intense levels of mental gymnastics to believe that they were a soldier who has just come home from war. I know, it's fucking stupid. It really fucking is. But this is the fact of the game. Your character you play as, Alex, believes he went to war as a soldier. This is not true in the slightest. He made it up and is so deep in his delusions he believes it. However, as anybody with any understanding of psychology will tell you, it doesn't matter if it's fake or real. If somebody believes it with their whole fucking chest, it's real to them. So that is the reasoning behind the nurses. And yes, they do fit. They do actually make sense once you break things down and understand why they are the way they are. But they're still fucking fan service. If you compare the design of these nurses to the nurses in Silent Hill 2, to the nurses in the Silent Hill movie, it's the exact same fucking thing. Do you know why? Because they just fucking copy-pasted James Sunderland's fucking nurses. I don't know what it is, but when it comes to Western developers trying to make a new entry in a series, they're so fucking scared of changing things up that they will go back and rehash old designs, old themes, old story beats, and not make anything new and original. The Nurse is the biggest example of this I can think of. It works, but it only works because they shoehorned it so fucking hard into the actual, like, inners of the game that it just, it's dissonant, if that makes sense. They work, but they don't fit. And then we get to fucking Pyramid Head. Who doesn't? I'm sorry, this is when I'm gonna actually get mad, because this is like the fatal flaw of Silent Hill Homecoming. Silent Hill Homecoming brings back Pyramid Head for no fucking reason. And this is including what they tell you in the fucking story. Silent Hill Homecoming literally brings back Pyramid Head exclusively as fan service. There's no way, shape, or form to get around it. What does he accomplish within the story? He shows up, he looks cool, he leaves. Where else does he show up in the story? Oh, he shows up in an ending where Alex gets turned into a pyramid head by a group of pyramid heads. What? No! Silent Hill Homecoming's use of Pyramid Head is egregious, unnecessary, and exclusively there as fan service. And it's infuriating, because the game before this, that was also produced by Western developers, Silent Hill Origins, has its own pseudo Pyramid Head in The Butcher. And it's obvious it's a Pyramid Head reference, but it's not Pyramid Head. They go out of their way to change things up. Instead of the fucking giant butcher knife, it's a literal giant butcher knife. Instead of the fucking weird Pyramid Head mask, it's this, like, medieval night torture mask with, like, half a fucking pauldron going down one arm. They go out of their way to differentiate it from Pyramid Head. And then they fucking go into Silent Hill Homecoming and just, Pyramid Head! What? Like, are you fucking kidding me? You could have literally put a giant sphere on his head instead of a pyramid, called it a day, and nobody would have batted a fucking eye because it wasn't just literally Pyramid Head. Like, does this make sense? Pyramid Head and the nurses are low effort fan bait that they try desperately to shoehorn into making sense, that they feel dissonant to the game, out of place, and just are so apparent for what they are that it just makes the whole game feel bad. And I mean it. These two monsters together ruin more of Silent Hill Homecoming on their own than any other possible grievance people have about the game. Like, it's so fucking absurd for me to think like that. But it's true. There's a Silent Hill game that was free on the PS5. Oh? You mean the PT demo? I thought they took that down. No, I wanted to get these two out of the way right now. Silent Hill, the short message. I have no idea what that is, but if I were to take a guess, it's probably crap. Because it sounds like it was something made by a Western developer. But no, like I said, I wanted to get these two out of the way right now. Because these are the two biggest sins of Silent Hill Homecoming. And I fully mean it. There are many other things this game does wrong that are nowhere near the level of, like, butchery, unfortunately I have to put, that these two do. We're considered the Western devs again? I don't fucking care. I really don't. I just hope they never make another Silent Hill game. Like, they shouldn't have gotten the reins for another one after Homecoming, but then they went and made Downpour. And I think people learned their lesson after that. Alright, but let me go grab an actually good monster. Which, Double Helix. It's Double Helix. That's which fucking dev it is. Isn't Hexadrive what Double Helix turned into? Like, just saying. I wouldn't know. I don't follow fucking Double Helix for obvious reasons. Why would I want to when they fucking destroyed a game this badly? I'm going to bring up some actually good monsters and some bad monsters that this game has. And I'm going to address some other things too, but I have to address the monsters first. Because it's not a Silent Hill game without its monsters, and monsters are literally the bread and butter of the series. Oh boy, this is going to be a fun one. So, I guess, warning for people who have, like, sensitivities about insects, because, well, that's where the first one's going. So, speaking of weird, bad designs, meet the swarm. Literally just bug. Literally just bug. Why? Because other Silent Hill games had bugs. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, but the head is vaguely felt. No. The head looking like a dick is purely coincidental. It is entirely a bug. However, even though this is by far the lamest monster in the entire game, for multiple reasons, there's something special about this thing that nobody ever paid attention to. And I'm sorry for having to zoom in like this, but it's important. Look at its limbs. Look at its hands and feet. And I mean that hands and feet. while this is literally just bug enemy for the sake of having bug enemy, they hid something very, very obvious that is so hard to notice when you're not able to see the model like this, that I'm surprised, not surprised, people wrote it off. Why does it have humanoid hands and feet? Why? And now, paired with the missing head, or what appears to be a missing head, something suddenly clicks. This isn't just a bug. This is a personified bug. Why? Well, the answer is simple. It's representative of Alex's little brother, who, again, spoilers, big spoilers alert, is fucking dead. He's been fucking dead. Like, for years now, he's been fucking dead. But if you notice, it's a bug with childlike proportions for hands and feet. I don't think I have to spell this one out too far. It's literally a physical representation of how he felt about his little brother. He felt like he was an annoying little roach. And now it's physically coming back to literally bite him. As a means of, like, regret, self-inflicted torture. You know, something that, the thing that Pyramid Head does in Silent Hill 2. Gee, I wonder why fucking Pyramid Head is egregious in this game. But no, the fucking Swarm, despite just being generic bug enemy number, I don't know how many fucking in the series, it actually has a purpose. And if you notice, you look really closely at the design of the shell, does it not look like a face in pain? There's a lot of things to unpack with these monsters. There's a lot of good things about these monsters. And they get overshadowed and outweighed by Pyramid Head and the Nurse. And if I can find this much about one of the smaller enemies in the game, one of the literally least important types of enemy in the game, then what am I going to be able to explain to you guys about other monsters? Well, unfortunately, it's not all this good. Unfortunately for both of us. For all of us, I should say. Because not every monster is made equal in this game. And some of them, while cool, don't make a lick of fucking sense. And I mean it. Do not make a lick of fucking sense. As in, it was clearly exclusively made to be an enemy you have to deal with in the game. And meet the Smog, everybody. I'm sorry, I know he's fucking ugly. Don't make him cry. Otherwise, he's gonna spit out noxious fumes at everybody, and nobody will like that. But meet the Smog, everybody. I hope you like looking at them, because they're not gonna be here for long, because there's nothing to fucking talk about with them. The Smog is a beautifully designed monster with no thematic backing. And I mean this truly, with the best intentions. It does not make a fucking lick of sense to exist. So, like, if you haven't figured out by now, from me ranting about this shit, the way Silent Hill creates the monster for the person is to go into the depths of its psyche and manifest those monsters specifically to conflict as much psychological damage on you as possible. While they might be literally dangerous and literally able to kill you, they are meant to be a physical representation of your traumas, regrets, mistakes, and any other negative aspect of yourself. And that's the problem with the Smog. Theoretically, spoilers, again, I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to say this, the Smog is supposed to be representative of a drowned body. Because Alex accidentally drowned his little brother, and that's what killed him. So, I mean, theoretically, it makes sense. And it almost works, except for one key problem. This thing doesn't belch out water. like its name suggests, it belches out like poisonous, fiery ash. Do you know how close they were to hitting the mark with this? All they would have had to have done would be to have made Alex's father a cannon smoker. That's all they would have had to have done to make sense. Because suddenly, a drowned body spitting up smoke at you, spitting up smoke at Alex, makes more sense. Because it's the drowned body of his brother spitting out the hate and resentment of his father. That way, it would have made thematic sense. But they didn't do that. They did not do that. So instead, it's thematically dissonant in and of itself. Not within the game, just within itself. Its body is meant to be a waterlogged corpse. It is spitting out fiery hot ash. Two things do not coincide here. And what makes it worse is longtime Silent Hill fans like me can see this monster for what it is, which is just another lying figure. To elaborate on that a little bit, let me get the image of him, ugly bastard, of the lying figure. I gotta do a lot of impromptu shit here, I am very sorry. I gotta actually go find the image, translate it into Fire Alpaca, and then save it as a PNG because WebP sucks balls. Behold, the lying figure, aka the Smog. I dare somebody in chat to tell me the fucking difference! Like, oh yeah, the mouth is more obviously noticeable because it's glowing. And, oh, it has squared feet instead of like actual human feet. And, the silhouette is the fucking same. The way it attacks is the fucking same. The way they use the fucking monster in the game is the exact same. To the point that the first time you interact with the monster is the first time you get a weapon for combat. That outside of the dream world, or outside of the fog world. The exact same way as in Silent Hill fucking do. So, it's a monster that, while cool, while interesting, while potentially relevant, is not cool, is not relevant, and is actually just painful fanbait. It's literally just the nostalgia monster. And it's infuriating. What about a salute emote? Captain Memes. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Make sure to message that to me, Kimmy, so I don't forget. I forgot to have my redeem tab open because I've got to do a lot of fucking OBS finagling. But yeah, that's the Smog. AKA how to miss every possible fucking mark. So you can take my redeem in DMs later too. Thank you, please. I need to have the redeems in DMs, otherwise I miss the mark on these. All right. Now I am bringing out the big guns. By far, the single best, well-designed, non-boss enemy in the game. And I will stand by that till the day I die. Of all the monsters Silent Hill Homecoming has inside of it, this is the one time where they didn't miss anything. This is a true, well and truly, in my eyes, one of the single perfect monster design from the game. Meet the Siam. Yeah, I know, he's fucking ugly, isn't he? There we go. Now you can see me better. Behold, everybody, the Siam. This ugly fucking monstrosity is the best thematically cohesive design in the entire game. It is multi-layered, it is extremely symbolic, and it makes you feel threatened like no other regular monster in this game. And there are some absolutely fucking horrifying monsters to face in combat, but nothing is like this monster when it comes to intimidation factor. Allow me to break this guy down for you. The Siam is a male and a female body fused in horrible, I don't even know what the fuck you want to call it. But the big thing to note is that it is part male and part female together as one unit. I'll give like a minute for anybody in the chat who can figure out why a man and a woman as one unit is very thematically relevant here. I'll yap about other things. Number 2. Its quote unquote mouth is the female's arms bondaged up over her head and held together, so it looks like a star-nosed mole. The arms of the male are big, brutish, bloody flesh clubs that it uses to beat the shit out of you. And if you notice really closely, it looks like it's wearing a straitjacket. So you can tell that some of the mental hospital imagery leaks into this too. Alright, I think I've given y'all long enough. So, if it wasn't obvious, the Siam is representative of Alex's parents. The domineering, brute force, powerful leader of the family father, and his soft-spoken, submissive, subservient mother. So, when I say to you that this monster is literally mommy and daddy problems, I'm not fucking kidding. And how does it affect you? Well, the female side kind of does nothing. It flails around its legs a little bit if you get behind it, but that's about it. All of the aggression comes from the male half. From it charging at you like a fucking gorilla. Because those arms are too big and too heavy for it to be able to walk fucking on 2 legs. To the way it just pulverizes the shit out of you. Like an abusive father. So it's the way this monster is entirely representative of his parents, how they interacted with each other in front of him, and how they interacted to him together. There is not a single miss on this fucking design. Like, to the point that if I had a different angle, I would be able to show you the female head, the female facial piece of the monster on top of it, constantly gasping for air, representative of a woman struggling to feel like she has any control over her life. It is so well designed, so emalically circular. That if you on a sale with a little video. What do you mean sale? Oh, Yarhar, got it. But no, this is the peak. This is the best monster in the entire game. This design eclipses the best boss monster. SOT? No. You can actually kind of see it if you look to where the top of the male's head's supposed to be. Exactly! And like, to the point that you can still see the shape of breasts. Like, I know that's like a weird detail to point out, but the fact is, they went as far out of their way as humanly possible to make both the male and female halves distinct from one another, yet still coalesce into one single being. Do you understand how fucking peak of monster design this is? Even for Silent Hill! Even for Silent Hill! The series that every game has a fucking dog because somebody was afraid of dogs. We'll be getting to that. But it's so peak. The bondage thematic is peak. The marriage aspect is peak. The abusive parenthood symbolism is peak. The mental abuse symbolized by the fucking mental hospital outfit. The way they don't look human. And it's been gone. They went out. It's how it went out of its. They went out of their way to make it look non-human with mostly human parts. This is the best thing in this game. This thing stands out so far and above and beyond every other aspect of Silent Hill Homecoming that I firmly believe this is trapped in a game where it will die. And that's a shame. I literally cannot think of a monster in the series that I can point to and go, symbolism, like the fucking Siam. It is unironically my favorite monster in the entire series. Even over Pyramid Head. Even over Alyssa Gillespie. Even over some of the other really cool, really thematically relevant monsters. The Siam is my favorite. Because there is not a single aspect of this monster that is irrelevant. Every little detail matters. Every little detail adds up to be a greater sum of its parts. This is the best monster design in all of Silent Hill. This is the soapbox I will get hung on. Because there are plenty of good designs for monsters in the rest of the Silent Hill series. None of them reach the same level as the Siam, which is a fucking shame. And you're gonna see exactly what I mean with our next monster. Because we are going from peak to... Oh, you peaked. If that makes any sense. We are going from the single best design to the single most why design. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare for disappointment as I introduce the Schism. You know why this monster is disappointing? Because what you see is what you fucking get. This is the exact opposite of the Siam. Lol, Hammerhead Shark. Yeah. Not only is the design kind of goofy, it's kind of bad in my opinion. But like I said, this is the most bare bones, obvious fucking monster in the entire game. It looks like a worm. Yeah. No. I know exactly what you're talking about. Those carnivorous worms. Yeah, the hammerhead worm. And what's funny about those is those are also aquatic worms. Aquatic carnivorous worms. So like, yeah, there is actually a little bit to this. Honestly, Kimmy, if you could post an image of it in the fucking chat, like a link to an image of it, please be my guest. This will help with explanation. But like, there is something a little more to it. The fact that it's actually based on a real animal. The hammerhead worm. But once you get past that, there's nothing else to it. Its name is the Schism. Oh, like his fractured mental state. Yep. Oh, look, it's split in half. It's been Schism. Yep. Oh, it's got a fucking guillotine blade for a head. It's going to split you in half like a Schism. Yep. Oh, its arms are completely on backwards like they've been destroyed in a Schism. Yep. That's this monster in a nutshell. Yep. This thing is so bland that British people eat it on toast. This thing is so bland that if you serve this to an Italian grandmother, she'd have a heart attack of shame. This thing is so bland, when you place it on the fucking plate of a Frenchman, the first thing he does is grab wine to pair with it. This monster sucks! It's such a good idea, and it fucking sucks! It's lame! It's boring! It's uninspired. It's basic. And you gotta sit there and compare this to the fucking Siam. They don't even feel like they're part of the same game. Like the Siam feels like a Silent Hill monster. It looks like a Silent Hill monster. The Schism looks like something you'd find in a fucking Left 4 Dead mod. And it doesn't get any better. Like I said, we peaked with fucking monster designs for the regular monsters in the Siam. It doesn't get any better. And you think the Schism is bad. You think the Schism is irrelevant. Are you ready for Edgy McEdgelord? Meet the Needler. Oh wait, didn't fucking save it. Let me do that again. Meet the Needler, aka, oh no, a fishing hook. I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding. There is a deceptively large amount of things going on here. The fact that its head is removed from its shoulders and it's coming out like, you know, like birth. Yeah, it kind of does look a little bit like a head crab, I won't lie. But like, Having report launch with no problems so far. Excellent. But so aside from the birth referential or unbirth or rebirth or whatever, aside from that thematic, this thing sucks. It is literally just there to be an intimidating monster you have to fight. And that's depressing. Like, what else am I supposed to fucking say about this thing? It is literally just the you have to fight this to move on monster. And they even use it like that in the game. Can you believe that? Can you believe that this and the Schism exist in the same game as the Cyan? It's like, you know what it's like? It's like when you were in high school and you had to do a group project and you were the only one doing a fucking thing the entire time, while the other two people in your group were fucking off, trying to hit on girls, get drunk under the bleachers, and then getting arrested. That's how bad it is to me. And unforgivable. Because there's another monster in the game, other than the Siam, that's actually pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie. There is another monster in the game other than the Siam that does a pretty good job thematically. Not as good, nowhere near as good, but a hell of a lot better than both the Needler and the Schism. And I fully mean that. Like, these two monsters are absolutely lame and unforgivably so. But the next monster I'm going to bring up for you all to see is not. It is deceptively well designed. Not a Siam level, but like 5 steps above these two fucking losers. Meet the Lurker. Yeah, I know. Great name, right? You can tell a fucking Western developer came up with that. But there is something very fucking cool about this monster if you could pay attention to it. And that would be its legs, which unfortunately you cannot see very well in this render. So let me grab a model, or let me grab a view of the model to really help hammer home how deceptively good this fucking design is. There we go. I knew it would update. Perfect. Behold, a view of the Lurker's model. Check out its legs. Remember what I said earlier about what Alex accidentally did to his little brother? Yeah, they're bound and fused together, like a mermaid. This monster is exclusively found in areas with water. Its legs are fused together in a crude facsimile of a mermaid. And they lean doubly into the mermaid mythos, because if you know, mermaids weren't always considered to be like pretty cute, like humans with fish legs. They were considered fucking monsters. So it's got giant fucking claws in the shape of fish hooks and I don't know how else to put this, but a fucking well, a vagina for teeth for mouth. There's no other way to put it. I hate to say it. It's a vertical slit with teeth in it. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. The symbolism there is obvious, but the execution on a monster symbolic of a drowning death is actually impressive. And that's it. Because they don't push this any further. As good of an execution on the drowning aesthetic as this is, it still doesn't do anything exceptional like the Siam. Like, the most exceptional thing it does do is the fishhook talons, which are like, I don't know, like physically fused and grafted into its like bone metal type I don't know how to explain that, but like, it looks intimidating. It looks good, but it's all style, no substance in the long run, which is a shame. Because they could, like, if, in my opinion, there is a single thing that would have taken this design over the top and made it even better, and that is if they kept the feet on the legs and had them splayed out to either side to fully go for the mermaid aesthetic. If they had done that, in my opinion, it would have been perfect. Like, at least design-wise. But, like, thematic-wise, it's just, oh, this is representative of somebody who drowned. Okay. Okay. You're gonna waste a fire fucking design on something that simple. Okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. But, like, you can see what I mean, though. Like, actually, like, design-wise, compared to the fucking Schism and the Needler, this actually is good. This can stand on its own. It looks scary. It feels scary. Thematically, it's scary because it makes sense. But it's too simple, thematically. Like the Siam proved, a good monster is multi-layered. It should have multiple different meanings and multiple different reasons why it is the way it is. And the Lurker just doesn't. The Lurker just doesn't. Which kills me, because it's just so fucking close to being good. It's so fucking close to being good, and it just drowns in a pool of mediocrity. And speaking of mediocrity, one I foreshadowed earlier that I didn't bring up earlier. I find it interesting how it looks like it's been split in half and then refused. That's kind of a Silent Hill. That's like a Silent Hill design thing, because, like, I'm gonna zoom in here so you can get a better look. One of the things that Silent Hill really likes to play with in monster design is fetid skin. And if you know anything about old, drying, decaying skin, that's just how it looks. So even though it might look like it's been split in half, it's just dead, drying skin cracking. Which also pisses me off, because if it was split in half and then refused, that would be a cooler fucking design. Like, if you could physically see the legs more distinctly individually, and then, like, slap them together. Oh, you meant by the head. Oh, shit, yeah. No, I didn't even... Good point. The bisection on the chest and the head. Huh. Like, maybe there's something about... Maybe it's something along the lines of his brother got hit by, like, the boat, like, the fucking fan of the boat or something? Potentially? I don't know. I actually never even noticed that, though. The very distinct upper body split. Huh. Maybe there's a little more redeeming about this guy than I gave him credit for. He's still a little underwhelming, especially when you got the Siam in the same game. But still miles better than the Schism and the Needler and the Feral. I foreshadowed this earlier, but unfortunately, there is not a single Silent Hill game I can think of that doesn't have a dog. And the ones that don't, I mean, they usually have something else that fills a similar role. But I can't be mad at this one as a fan service reference to anything but the games itself. Because many games have, Silent Hill games have dogs in them. Because Fear of Dogs is a very... Oh, I guess I gotta hydrate the beam, huh? Maybe just kind of threw her water bottle up on the desk for me. That was good. But, like I said, this isn't exactly something I can get mad at Silent Hill Homecoming specifically for. This is a sin of the Silent Hill franchise in general. Fear of Dogs is very common, and they like to take full advantage of that to take the brain out of one type of enemy. Do I resent them for it? Yeah, a little. I mean, you could try to be a little more, like, unique and interesting instead of just devolving to the most easy fucking basic design every fucking time. Can I be pissed at Silent Hill Homecoming specifically for this incarnation? Yes! Because it's just a rehash of the Silent Hill 1 and Silent Hill 3 dogs. That's right. I fooled you. This is another fan bait bullshit fucking monster. I intentionally left one off the list because this one pisses me off in a way that I can't quite explain. Because while Pyramid Head is very obviously a reference to Silent Hill 2, because it's fucking Pyramid Head, the dog is a reference to Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 1. Do you know what the problem with this is? In Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 1, it worked because this was the fear of a little girl. We're playing a grown fucking man, and this is his interpretation of an evil dog. It's just a skinned dog. That's it. Do you know what this should be representative of instead of a fear of dogs? It should be a representation of an abhorrence of roadkill. But no, it is just dog. Starving dogs are the scariest animal. Yeah, I will not disagree. Starving dogs are legitimately scary. But the thing is, if you go back into the game and see why he's afraid of dogs, it was because he got chased by his neighbor's big baby Rottweiler once. It didn't even want to hurt him. When it finally tackled him to the ground, it licked him on the face. And this scarred him for life. When he was like fucking 14. With an 8-year-old girl with an abusive parent, an abusive mother, like whole psychotic abusive mother, it makes significantly more sense than a young man with anger issues being chased by a big puppy. I might be biased on this one. I might be biased and just lashing out because I think dogs are way overused in the series. I will be fully forthwith with that. But I still think it's fucking lame. I really just... They could have done so much more with the design to make it more than just see-through flesh bone dog. Like, even in Silent Hill fucking 3, they go more out of their way to make it differentiated by letting the head split in half or vertically. I think it's lame to be reuse the design, but I think you're also being mean to Alex over his fears. That's why I said I might just be biased. I fully admit that. I still don't feel it's an excuse. And I'll give you my reasoning for this very simply. Do you know how easy it would have been to reskin this as the coyote or a wolf? Why a dog? Why a dog when there are other canids that are significantly more fearful of? More to be fearful of. And this is doubled down because Alex's father was an avid hunter who would butcher his own deer catches in his basement. Why would a coyote or a wolf, something that could compete with his father on those hunting trips and potentially follow them home, not be a better choice than just fucking dog? I would have made fun of him as a coyote. Okay, fair, but as somebody who's seen rabid coyotes up close, too close, they're fucking terrifying. And like, obviously, like, the name, The Feral, kind of just like slams it home as to why this is a very lame dog design. Like, I just... Although it's spelled like that, it's spelled coyote.
Yote.
Oh, coyote. I'm sorry. I mean, would you rather we pronounce it coyote? I'm gonna get hit. Oh god, this is my Silent Hill. This is my Silent Hill! I'm joking. Alright. I bitched about the monsters, the regular fodder monsters enough. Time for me to get serious. Time for me to show off what this game can actually do when it takes its thumb out of its ass and works on thematics. And before I bring this guy up, I really should clarify something. All the bosses in Silent Hill Homecoming are specifically based on children. Children who were murdered by their parents in different ways. If this disturbs you, you might want to step out because it's only going to get worse when I show you these monsters and explain how those child deaths are relevant. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, be prepared. We are not holding back. And we don't have a choice because we start fucking hard. Behold, everybody. Sepulcher. The first boss of Silent Hill Homecoming. And I know, it doesn't really make sense with the way it looks like this. But that's because there's a certain amount of context you need for it. This is, technically, viewing it upside down. I know, that's weird to say, right? Like, I showed you something and it's actually just the upside down version of it. Technically it's right side up, but you don't face it this direction. You face it upside down. Hung from the ceiling with a bunch of body bags hanging around it that you need to beat down in order to make it come down and fight you on the ground. So when you first fight this thing, what you see is this. This behemoth, and I fucking mean it, it is massive. It is at least 3 to 5 times bigger than the player character. I would lean towards more towards the 5 times size. This beast was caused by the death of the child Joey, whose father buried him alive. And this is doubled down on in a lot of different ways. Number one, if you notice, if you really look at the design, does it not look like a tree? Does it not look like a tree that's been uprooted? Like, thematically and literally, it looks like an uprooted tree. So, there's already some thematic resonance going on with the way the poor child died, as well as its design. Much like you plant a tree, the child was buried. But this is one of 3 monsters in the game, all 3 of them bosses, by the way, that are thematically named as well. Because like I said, this monster's name is Sepulcher. Which, alright, I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking at the wiki because I don't always remember this correctly, and I want to make sure I say this right. Sepulcher, from the Latin word sepulchrum, which literally means tomb, is the same type of tomb that Jesus was supposedly buried in before he was resurrected 3 days later. So, this monster is literally the child who was buried alive, coming back, much like Jesus Christ. Which also makes sense when you realize, oh hey, if it has its arms out, it looks like an inverted cross. And then this doubles down, which because there's also the term vivisepulture, which is the term for someone who's been buried alive. So the name of the monster tells you exactly what happened, and the name of the monster is thematically resonant with the way it introduces itself and its own design. It's great. And the other bosses don't fucking have this issue, have this exact same level of thematic throughness to them too. Which makes the bosses in the game, well, absolutely horrible to face because the combat system is terrible, but also Silent Hill games should never have a good combat system. It makes the bosses an absolute high point in the game because of how well they are designed and how thematically resonant they are in a circular manner. Like, I'm trying to think of like what a really good example I could use from outside of Silent Hill would be. You know what? This is a weird fucking choice to make, but you know what is another example of something that is so thematically circular that it becomes beautiful? The facehuggers from the Alien franchise. They have one job in life, which is to implant the alien embryo into something to create a new alien. Its entire body is designed for exclusively that. But there's thematic points to it too. Like the way it latches onto your head with its legs is like it's like someone grabbing you by the head and, you know, forcing themselves on you. The way it wraps its tail around your neck so that you can't get away. It is all thematically resonant. And even the name, Facehugger, makes sense. That's the kind of thematic throughness that Sepulcher has that makes it so fucking good. And like I said, every fucking boss in Silent Hill Homecoming is this complete thematically. Which is a shame, because most people rag on the bosses in Silent Hill Homecoming because they feel like shit to fight through. That's not the fault of the game. That's not the fault of the bosses either. That's just Silent Hill. Silent Hill's not supposed to have good fucking combat. You're supposed to always feel fucking helpless in Silent Hill. A Silent Hill game where you are in control of the combat is a Silent Hill game that is not scary. AKA, a Silent Hill game that has a good combat system is just Resident Evil. I'm sorry I went there. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so before I start going on that rant, time to bring up the monster I fucking hate the most in the entire game, because... Alright, TLDR, I don't like clowns. I don't like, not clowns. Well, I mean, I don't like clowns, but I also don't like dolls. And, well, that's what we're looking at next. Hey, Wiz, welcome in. I'm ranting on Silent Hill Homecoming. And the next thing we are on is my most hated boss in the game because it just fucking creeps me out. Meet Scarlet. I fucking hate this thing. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I hate dolls. And what is this? Just a giant fucking terrifying doll. Now, Scarlet. Scarlet is representative of the girl, Scarlet, who died by... I don't know how else to put this, but basically being bloodlet. Sucho, get out! Sucho, get out! Kimmy has every right to bust her gut for that. Like, goddamn. That's why I hold on to Kimmy's dolls for her. Please do. I fucking hate dolls. But no, this is Scarlet, named after the child who owned her. That's right. Scarlet is the doll of Scarlet. Yeah, no, I actually let Kimmy have some dolls. Porcelain dolls are a no, though. I fucking hate porcelain dolls. Double Scarlet. Yeah, basically. But, like... Excuse me, I had to take a drink. The thing with Scarlet specifically that makes her horrifyingly well executed is, as far as I remember, unlike every other monster in every other boss monster in the game, Scarlet is the only one with a regretful, remorseful parent. Yes, her father did in fact kill her, more than likely by draining her of blood, by cutting her aorta or her fucking vein in her neck. Hate when there's one porcelain doll, but there are various dolls at various stages of customization laying around. Oh god, that sounds horrible. That sounds horrible. But Scarlet is the only one of these children whose parent actually regrets what they did. If they didn't, quote unquote, have to, for some bullshit shenanigan-y reasons that are story related, he wouldn't have killed her. Oh, did I freeze? Oh yeah, I froze. Yay! PNG Tuber didn't like me ranting. Woo! God damn it. Yeah, my PNG Tuber just straight up froze. Whamp whamp. See if I can fix it. No, it doesn't want to. What was the other one, eh? Task, okay. I'm back! I'm back. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it does that. This is the second time it's done that recently. It's pissing me off. Kind of funny, though. But... Gengar is frozen! Damn status conditions. Guess what? I used a fire move. But, no. The fact that Scarlet has a regretful parent makes her extremely unique. Because literally all the other parents, including Alex's own, by the way, this is going to explain till we get to the final boss, none of them were half as remorseful as Scarlet's father. To the point that when you find Martin Fitch, Scarlet's father, in the fog world, in the boss arena, he is covered in self-inflicted cuts, bleeding himself out, attempting to repent for what he has done. While one of the parents, specifically the parent of Joey, of Sepulture, gets drunk over his son's grave and blames everything on everybody else, while another parent, later coming up next, doesn't even regret what she did, compared to Alex's parents, his mother who is remorseful and wishes she could have changed things, and his father, who does not give a flying fuck. Martin Fitch regrets. Martin Fitch attempts to repent. And Martin Fitch himself creates Scarlet, the doll. Now, the thing that's not being shown here, because this is technically the phase 2 of Scarlet. That's right, she's got 2 phases and both of them are equally fucking annoying. That's aside from the point. The most important thing to note about Scarlet's design here is the way her body is moving. You see the way it's all sprawled out and spider-like? There's a reason for this. And the reason is so fucking weird, so fucking interesting, that I have to say this. The phase 1 of Scarlet, while she's still a complete doll, like mostly complete mannequin-esque being, her moveset is that of a ballerina. Because Scarlet, the child, was obsessed with dance. Why is this relevant, you might ask? Kimmy, my dear, would you say it is an absolute necessity to be obscenely flexible when it comes to ballet? She says yes. The reason I asked this is because Kimmy has actual experience with that. So think about it. You are taking a non-human creature in a humanoid form, having it do something that imitates humans. What would be the best way to invert that? To go fully animalistic. All fours, arms and legs splayed out, covering as much ground as possible. And more importantly, abandoning the human facade. Like, it's so much easier to explain. Doing that yeah, kinda. Yeah, basically. Woo! Oh shit, that got me. That fucking got me. But like, just, it's so good. The fact that they went out of their way to have something feign humanity before discarding it completely and just fully committing to being a monster is so interesting to me. No other creature in Silent Hill Homecoming does this. No boss, no regular monster. Nothing feigns being human at all. Most things in Silent Hill Homecoming are fully content to just be monsters. But Scarlet feigns humanity. Scarlet pretends because it's a doll. Scarlet plays at a ballerina because she's a doll being manipulated by a little girl playing fantasy. And specifically, the thing that makes Scarlet so interesting, is that unlike every other monster in Silent Hill Homecoming, Scarlet the monster's death has an impact on the real world. Something so insignificant that the vast majority of people who play the game probably never even noticed it. And that is the doll that the monster Scarlet is based off of has its head lopped off and on the floor of the bedroom when you come back from the fog world. So, you didn't just put the soul of an innocent child to rest. because she was already at rest. What you did is you killed her by ending everything representative of her. You took away her final connection to the world to force her to pass on. So, while every single one of the boss monsters is sad and depressing in their own unique way, Scarlet specifically is sad because the child was not angry. The child was just playing, and people suffered because that play was taken in a violent manner by the forces of Silent Hill. This is peak writing for Silent Hill. Warping something innocent and childlike into a horrible, brutal monster that only cares about inflicting pain. Scarlet is excellent. And now, here's something that's going to make me sound crazy. It gets better from here. And I mean it, it really does get better. Surprisingly enough, we just continue to go up on the scale of impressive when it comes to boss monsters. The Poultry was great. Scarlet is even better. But, my friends, the next boss in the game is insanely good. Insanely good. To the point that if the final boss wasn't better, this would be the best boss design in the game to me. Everybody, I'm warning you right now, this design is intense. This design is extremely intense. It will trigger something if you have it will trigger a specific fear if you have it, because there is nothing I can say to prepare you for this. If you don't like hands, you're gonna want to leave. If you didn't like this human centipede and things like that, we're going to want to leave. Because this boss is 6 out of 7. Oh, fuck off. No, I'm serious. If you have a fear of hands, or don't like absurd levels of body horror, please, I encourage you to leave. Because, as her name suggests, Asphyxia ain't gonna hold her fucking breath for you. Oh, we have streakers. I have to go check. 15 stream streak! And a 25 stream streak, get a 15 stream streak. Let's go! And I have to turn around. Fuck. Oh well. Well, this is gonna take all the piss out of my argument. Haha! But, behold, everybody. Asphyxia. And yes, she is indeed tall enough for the roller coaster. Yeah, no, I wasn't kidding. Like, the final boss is pretty fucking disgusting too. Don't get me wrong. But Asphyxia is fucking visceral as far as designs go. This is the design that holds nothing fucking back in this game. And it needs to. It needs to be this visceral. It needs to be this disgusting and in your face. Because of what it represents. Number one, its name. I'm sure most of you know what asphyxia means. But in case you don't, it means death by suffocation. It represents an MLM. Yeah, they're kind of suffocating. But no, asphyxia is death by suffocation. So, just from there, you already know what the poor girl who died went through. One was buried alive. One was carefully, considerately bled out. Asphyxia is based on Nora, a girl whose mother brutally, relentlessly tortured and killed her daughter by strangling her to death. Ducho, do I need to time you the fuck out? No! But this is such an intricate, disgusting design that I'm going to go over every bit of it in horrifying, gruesome, unnecessary detail. Because there are a couple different things on this design that need to be pointed out. Number one, we're starting with the head and top torso. If you notice the way the hands are on the shoulders, those normally are clasped over its mouth. And the only time it moves them away like this is when it catches you and it goes into its grab animation where those hands open up and wrap around your Alex's neck. So the only time this thing gets to breathe is when it's hurting somebody else. The only way it understands how to give itself something representative of life is to take that away from somebody else. Think about that. This is a monster created representative of a child. And this is what the child has come to understand. The only way to accomplish is to inflict suffering. The only way to be alive is to inflict pain on others. So, we already know how terrible the fucking parent they are. Their parent was, before we even go into the fact that they fucking killed their daughter. And then we get to this. I'm very sorry to everybody, but I cannot hold back what this implies. Remember, the hands on the body of this creature are representative of their mothers. So, where this hand is placed implies something fucking disgusting that I don't need to say because it doesn't need to be said. So that's why their mother, of all people, is the actual worst human in the entire game. Their mother, without remorse, without regret, abused and mistreated this child and then strangled her to death in no uncertain terms. And this monster, when you actually fight it in game, is just as horrible, just as violent, just as completely and totally unredeemable as her mother. Not only is this monster perfectly representative of the child whose death created it, it is representative of her horrible, abusive, evil mother who inflicted her death upon her. This is Siam levels of design. And then moving past the unfortunate hand placement, look at the back. Look at the back end. With what is very obviously a head jammed up an ass. I don't think I need to explain to you people what that's representative of. Of being told that you don't matter, that your opinions, your words, your thoughts, your feelings don't matter, that you are less than, that you are a parasite. You are an attachment, an accessory. You are not your own person. You exist exclusively because your mother deemed it valid. Exactly! Asphyxia is the vessel of waste. Can you imagine how that must feel to a child? To know that your mother quite literally hates you? Not even like, I love you so much, sometimes I hate you. Just quite literally hates you. Quite literally sees you only as a means to an end. How much anger and resentment would build up in that child. And how much struggle she probably put up to try and keep herself alive when her mother cornered her in her room, wrapped her hands around her neck, and strangled her to death. I cannot sugarcoat this design because this design can't be sugarcoated. It is raw, unfiltered, and in your face because it shows you the depths of depravity humanity can reach. There is no remorse. There is no regret. There is only action and the result. That is asphyxia, everybody. That is asphyxia. Of all the monsters in the game, asphyxia hits me in a place I cannot explain other than it hits me in a place in my heart that has a desperate black hole. This is what Silent Hill can do. Is it bad that I have an idea how that feels? Not gonna go fully into it, but I know the anger of being told that your feelings and opinions don't matter. I get that too, trust me. Like, low-key, I'm still fighting to prove that me streaming is worth my time. Not to myself, but to other people. People who have constantly put me down and make me feel like I don't matter, or that what I have to say is meaningless. I understand exactly how that feels. So I guess I just empathize with it. I empathize with a child who feels like a mistake and a piece of trash and something only there to be used and misused. Maybe that's why asphyxia hits me so hard, but like I said, this is a monster that can't be dumbed down. You have to go into every last grueling, gratuitous detail because it doesn't let you ignore them. It puts them in your face, and you have to either accept them and move on or ignore them and suffer. And if that isn't a thematic cycle, I don't know what is. Asphyxia is the single best boss monster design in the entirety of Silent Hill Homecoming. I've been in therapy for years trying to unlearn what my parents drilled into my head to finally let myself be free, feel and be upset. I thankfully have Kimmy for that. Kimmy's helped me come to terms with a lot of that kind of mentality. So I know where you're coming from. All right, last monster, the final boss of the entire game. I'm warning you all right now. This is another monster I have to give a fucking trigger warning to. The themes of birth and death are in your face and cannot be ignored. The design of this creature is very in your face to prove its point. I'm sorry to show you all this because this is a hell of a design to drop on stream live to everybody. But Twitch rules say I can do this. Behold, everybody, the final boss, Amnion. So, obviously, let's start with the obvious shit first. The cheeks are a palate cleanser? Yeah, I bet. With all this shit going on, it's definitely a palate cleanser. But, so most of you probably know amnion is referring to birth. Yeah, like amniotic fluid or the amniotic sac. And when you look at the design, it's very fucking apparent as to why. This is quite literally a bloated, round, pregnant corpse. And I'm sorry to say this, but what you see on that belly is exactly what you think it is. I'm very sorry. But there is a reason. And this is deep, this is wild, and the explanation of this actually is insane to me. So, I hate to say it, but if you notice what is coming out of there, it is a tube. That tube wraps around its body and goes up to the mouth on the head, which makes this an embryo Ouroboros. This monster, well, I guess there's no other way to put it. This is the someone eat a baby. Yeah, kinda, sorta. Oh, excuse me, that one popped out. But Amnion, as the final boss of the game, is specifically representative of Alex's little brother Joshua, which means this design is going to be incredibly complex and multi-layered. The most important thing to understand here is the fact that it is representative of his little brother. Its body is a bloated, round corpse that appears pregnant, but the I guess tube coming from the monster hoo-ha goes up to its mouth in a weird representation of two different things, both an umbilical cord in a very, very fucked up way, but also a breathing tube, like a child in a hospital bed with a breathing apparatus jammed down their throat, trying desperately to get air into the waterlogged lungs of a drowned child. The arms, the mechanical arms of the body around it are representative of the copious amounts of medical devices that the poor Joshua had surrounding his bed while he was already laid dead in the hospital bed. This is a monster not of anger, not of regret, but of sadness. Of everyone's sadness. Not just Alex's, but also his parents. And now I get to break down the thing in Silent Hill Homecoming that could have made this game good. Because there is a part of the story that makes everything come together very well. So, alright. But I have to do a little bit of exposition here. Scott's toilet paper ad! This is not the time to run! Woo! Yeah, no fucking kidding. It's a bad time for it. Alright, I'm gonna wait a little bit. See if I can't endure ad hell for a few people. But let me just remove this ugly thing from our site. I don't want to keep that thing on the screen any longer than I have to. Oh, it's a sidebar. Okay, just wanted to make sure. But the main through line story beat for the entirety of Silent Hill Homecoming is a deal. Silent Hill Homecoming, curiously, does not take place in Silent Hill. The only Silent Hill game to do this, by the way. And I mean, it doesn't take entirely in Silent Hill. The vast majority takes place in an entirely different area. If I remember correctly, it's called Shepherd's Cove. I'm going to double check quickly. Shepherd's Glen. That's what it is. It takes place in the town of Shepherd's Glen, a neighboring town of Silent Hill. Shepherd's Glen exists exclusively because a few members of the order, the cult that exists within Silent Hill, made a deal with Valtiel, and the god of the cult, literally a god, and Valtiel, which is like an angel, allowing them to leave Silent Hill and exist in a different place. But the deal was that the three founding families of Shepherd's Glen, every, I think, 3 generations, maybe 4 generations, it's just a certain amount of time between generations, the 3 founding families, all of them passing down, have to sacrifice their most favorite youngest child. Whoops. Hit. Almost sacrificed myself there. Oopsie. But yeah. So Silent Hill Homecoming is a game about comeuppance, about a homecoming. It's about Alex coming back to Shepherd's Glen, and it's about the gods of Silent Hill retaking what is theirs. Now, you're probably asking yourselves right now, wait, why does the gods of Silent Hill have an issue if all 4 kids are dead? Well, remember how I said Alex accidentally killed his little brother? He shouldn't have did that. It didn't count when Alex did it. So, what ended up happening is the deal broke because the Shepherd family, Alex's family, didn't have their child to sacrifice because the child died of unnatural natural causes. So everything spooky with Silent Hill Homecoming is quite literally a direct result of Alex's action and inaction. Everything that happens is his fault. Indirectly. Because the actual fault obviously falls on the people who founded Shepherd's Glen. Because who the fuck would agree to a deal like that? So, wrapping around to Amnion again. It is a monster entirely based around sadness. The sadness of Alex realizing he accidentally caused the death of his little brother, who he truly loved despite being annoyed by. Is the sadness of his mother, who well and truly viewed Joshua as her favorite child, who completely and totally shut down after his death, quite literally spending all her time sitting in a rocking chair staring out the front window, to the point that when the fog world overtook the Shepherd house, she was taken and didn't even put up a fight. It's the sadness of Alex's father, not because his child died, but because his child died in the wrong way. Yes, he did love Joshua, but he was still going to kill him. He knew he had to kill him. He had resigned himself to killing him, despite the fact that he loved Joshua explicitly. And then, when Alex accidentally drowned Joshua, all of that repression came back as anger towards Alex. Abuse. 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 And with that abuse came regret. We have the regret of a brother for doing something and for ruining the life of his cherished sibling on accident. The sadness of a mother who lost her favorite child, and the sadness of a father who did everything he thought was right until it all went wrong, and his regret for not being able to withhold himself. Amnion is a boss of sadness. Defeating Amnion means that Alex comes to terms with what he has done and is able to move forward. Now, as cool as that is, the game entirely fucks it up by making all the endings not about that, not about him fucking recovering, not about him getting over his issues. But that's aside from the point. Amnion itself is an amazing fucking boss. Woof. Damn. I really have been ranting about fucking Silent Hill Homecoming for an hour and a half, huh? Silent Hill Homecoming is a therapy horror game. Yes! Yes, unironically. And this extends down to so many weird little things within the game that I have to break a couple things down in detail. The gripe everybody has about Homecoming's combat system, twofold, are both stupid and don't matter. Silent Hill Homecoming's combat system is bad. Yes, because it's fucking Silent Hill. Silent Hill's combat system is supposed to make you feel helpless. I said this earlier. But also, there's a very specific gripe that I find fucking hilarious that nobody actually understands making fucking sense. And this is going to be hilarious. I promise you. Oh, I'm not going to be able to save it as a GIF, huh? Damn. Oh, I wish I could save this as a GIF. Hang on, let me actually like go to this fucking as all right. Let's see if it'll let the WebP GIF come through, because this is important. All right, and yeah, it doesn't even show the fucking image, does it? Rip. Oh well. I'll drop playing KOTOR 2 tonight. Nice! Oh yeah, browser source. Good thinking, Kimmy. Good thinking. Just boop that and make a browser source. That, right quick. Press. Okay. And hello? Hello? Okay, so browser source didn't work. That's annoying. Alright, I'll just do screen capture then. Capture. Okay. Let's do it. This. Alright, I'm going to zoom in. So, please take note of the stupid as fuck way this man is attacking. Do you see the stupid little twirl? Everybody who talks about this game goes, oh, he thought he was in the military. Why is he doing stupid shit like this? Because he only thought he was in the military. Like, when you go into his and Alex and Joshua's room in the house, when you get back to fucking Shepherd's Glen, if you notice, on the walls, there are posters of superheroes. He's not doing something that would be effective as a soldier. He's doing something that a little kid would think is cool. Which, if you remember, he is still mentally younger than he physically is because of his repression. So yes, while him doing these stupid flourishes makes no sense from a logical standpoint, from a psychological standpoint, it makes complete sense. Like, to the point that people who complain about this specific issue in Silent Hill on Silent Hill Homecoming are fucking idiots. It's a perception of inaccurate reality. Exactly. It's not what would actually be effective. It's what a kid would think would be effective and cool at the same time. It's not meant to be realistic. Because if it was realistic, what would he do? He would just take the knife and jab it into the fucking jugular and be done with it, you know? I agree. Oh, wait, it's stretched. Okay. But yeah, no. People complain about this specific aspect of the combat system in Silent Hill Homecoming, and it really just shows that they have no sense of media literacy. And there are other parts to Silent Hill Homecoming that also fall into the same category, but they're not worth talking about. Specifically because they bring nothing to the game like this does. And we have reached the point where I no longer have anything good to say about Silent Hill Homecoming. Time to shit on this fucking game. Number one, if you're going to have a Silent Hill game, you need to make your characters not only very fucking interesting, but relatable. How the fuck is somebody drowning their little brother and pretending that they're a fucking soldier relatable? How the fuck is any of these people relatable? The only thing relatable about it is the abusive parenthood. That's the only thing that makes anything about these characters relatable. Otherwise, these characters fucking suck. They're boring. White fucking toast. Plain Jane. Nothing interesting about them. The only thing that ever like interesting about them is their alignment. Some of them are neutral. Some of them are good. Some of them are just purely fucking irrevocably evil. Okay, that's not a character trait. Oh, you know what is a character trait? Killing my child. Yes, that's the character trait. Of like fucking 6 people. Like, yes, they make sure that all of them go about it in different ways. One of them is regretful, but lashes out at the world. Another one is regretful and lashes out at itself. Another one doesn't even give a fuck, and the other 2 are too busy pleading for their lives to care about the children. How the fuck was someone murdering their wife relatable? James Sutherland isn't the relatable one in that game. The relatable ones in that game are Eddie, because that's somebody who desperately needed mental health help and never got it, and Angela, who was, and pardon me for saying this, raped by her father. Unfortunately, both of those characters are incredibly relatable. The main character of Silent Hill 1, he's literally only there to find his fucking daughter. Is that not relatable? Fucking Silent Hill 3 with fucking Alessa, whatever her actual fucking name is. She's afraid of who she technically really is. She's afraid of strange men. She's afraid of dogs. She's afraid of being used and misused. That's relatable. How the fuck are any of these characters relatable? The most relatable character in the game is the cop who helps you out in a couple of fights against monsters and then is basically left to die the rest of the game. He's the most relatable character because with everything going on, he's still doing his fucking job. That's the most relatable character in the game. A cop doing his job. I'm sorry? That is the biggest fucking misstep you could ever consider when it comes to characters. Number 2, Silent Hill and The Order are painfully shoehorned into the game in a way that disrupts the entire flow. I didn't bring them up because I don't consider them real enemies, but technically, you have to fight Order cultists in Silent Hill Homecoming. The problem is, they aren't monsters. They are literally just people in cultic fucking clothing. So, we go to Silent Hill, and instead of dealing with monsters, we enter Silent Hill Call of fucking Duty. And I mean it. The combat system goes from being life or death, trying to beat off all these random monsters showing up all over the place, to gunfights with other humans. Do you know what other game did something similar like that made it an absolute abortion? Fucking Aliens Colonial Marines. I mean, when someone experiences trauma like Alex accidentally drowning his brother, they are prone to having delusions. To me, it seems like he dove deep into a delusion himself of being a soldier, fully believing he was because it was some sort of structure he could hold on to give himself some sort of control over his life. Exactly! Like, Alex himself, while not relatable, is actually decently good as far as, like, building a character from the ground up. He makes sense. Not good sense, but he at least makes sense. His mother, being a grieving widow who's lost all desire to live, makes sense. The rampantly evil mother who strangles her child because she has to and doesn't fucking care is not relatable or good character design in any way, shape, or form. And in Silent Hill games, the more understandable and relatable the villain is, the more terrifying they are. That's why, even though everybody hates Silent Hill for the Room so fucking much, Walter Sullivan is the best antagonist in the entire Silent Hill series, because his entire motivation is he wants to reconnect with what he believes is his mother. It is a child torn away from a parental figure who wants nothing more than to get them back. And that is fucking terrifying because of the sheer lengths he goes to. But generic evil woman kill daughter for pact does not make for a good antagonist. And neither does taking a game about dealing with psychologically induced monsters and stuffing the back half with fucking gunfights with humans in KKK clothing. Maybe not, but there are people like that out there, sick individuals that are like Asphyxia's father. Yeah, true. I won't disagree with that, but like, I don't know. Silent Hill requires significantly more nuance than that. I don't mind that she was just inexplicably evil, but give me some backstory to her to explain why she's inexplicably evil. Like if they had gone in deeper on the cycle of violence thematic that they desperately try to weave into this game, she would work significantly better. If we learned more about her and about the child and about Nora, her daughter, Asphyxia would be significantly better, significantly more effective as a design, because the mother would also be a traumatic piece, you know? But instead, the mother is just the means to the end to create Asphyxia. She's just a fucking walking, talking plot point. And I hate that. And that's what most of the characters in Silent Hill Homecoming are. Walking, talking plot points. They serve no other reason than to ferry you from one section to another. And that's criminal. Like, Silent Hill 2 does it the best with the supporting cast. With Eddie and with... Fuck, I can't remember her name off the top of my head now because I'm ranting. But they do such a fucking good job making it so that they aren't just plot points. They are fully fleshed out individuals who you can definitively tell are actually like deep, that it makes Silent Hill 2 significantly more effective. Angela Roscoe, that's what it is. Like, if the supporting cast in Silent Hill Homecoming was, like, even a remotely better, remotely a little bit more fleshed out, the game would be infinitely better off from it. But it doesn't bother to invest in the supporting cast. It just uses them specifically as tools to move along the story. And you can't do that. You literally cannot do that. That is like one of, if not the #1 faux pas of writing. If a character is nothing more than a plot point, they do not deserve to be there. A character should have nuance, a character should have relevance, a character should have depth. The only characters who have depth in the entirety of Silent Hill Homecoming are Alex and his parents. And we're talking about Alex is like your normal backyard pool, to his parents is like a backyard kiddie pool, like an inflatable kiddie pool. It's not that deep with any of them. The depth is only in the monsters, which, while don't get me wrong, that is a great thing, and the game uses it to its advantage quite well. If the characters the monsters are built around don't equal the fucking equal the monsters themselves, they don't fit. That's why Pyramid Head is so iconic. Not because of his design, not because of his giant fucking sword, but because James Sunderland made him to torture himself. He is the thematic of Silent Hill 2. Pyramid Head is all about penitence. Which again is why fucking Pyramid Head doesn't work in Silent Hill Homecoming. This Pyramid Head isn't about penitence in Silent Hill Homecoming. Pyramid Head is all about being the fucking Grim Reaper of revenge, taking out all of his anger. That's not fucking Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head has nuance. He's more than just some guy in a butcher's fucking apron with a big fucking sword and a weird triangle helmet. And like, #3, and this is the most like irredeemable thing in the game of all. When you actually go to Silent Hill, they fuck up the entire town layout. We have had 4 games prior of documentation of the layout of Silent Hill. Even Origins gets the fucking layout of Silent Hill right. But Homecoming says fuck it and does its own goddamn thing. As much shit as I give Downpour, even fucking Downpour got the map of Silent Hill right. When your game is called Silent Hill, your one fucking job is to make sure the hill is silent. And honestly, that is my biggest grievance with the game. Of all the things wrong with the game, the fact that the town that the game is literally named after, the fucking town the franchise is literally named after, is incorrect. It is wrong. That would be like fucking Resident Evil going back to Raccoon City and completely and totally changing it from a city to a fucking rural town. You cannot do that. It is a fixed piece of the series. It is the single thing you cannot change. We're gonna change the map. No! The fact that even Silent Hill Downpour, the quite literal worst playable Silent Hill game, got the fucking map of Silent Hill right, just goes to show how damning that is for Silent Hill Homecoming in my eyes. And I mean it. I absolutely mean it. Thank you for the sub, Mr. Manager. I hope you're enjoying the rant. But no, I'm serious. I absolutely loathe fucking Silent Hill Downpour with every fiber of my fucking being. But even I will stand here and admit the single thing it does right is that it actually keeps the map of Silent Hill correct. Homecoming couldn't fucking do that to save its life. Homecoming goes out of its way to make the map wrong because it wants to have its own unique Silent Hill, when Silent Hill is a fixed fucking place that is the same in every fucking game that fucking takes place there. The only game in the series that has any right to change Silent Hill is Silent Hill F, because Silent Hill F takes place in a Silent Hill across the fucking world in Japan. That's the only reason Silent Hill F gets away with it. Because it's its own Silent Hill. Quite literally, its own unique Silent Hill. This isn't the American Silent Hill, this is the Japanese Silent Hill. Yes, exactly! Homecoming is tell me you've never been to Silent Hill without telling me you've never been to Silent Hill. And that's a great way to explain the game in general. It's the Silent Hill game for people who... I'm going to borrow a term that I've seen constantly pop up on Twitter. Silent Hill Homecoming is the Silent Hill for tourists. Silent Hill Homecoming is the Silent Hill for people who have only interacted with the Silent Hill franchise from the outside and wanted to play a Silent Hill game without playing a Silent Hill game. And that's the biggest gripe I can give you about Silent Hill Homecoming. It really is. That is the gripe of the game. It's a Silent Hill game not meant for Silent Hill players. It's a Silent Hill game meant for people who want to interact with Silent Hill without interacting with Silent Hill. It's for people who like the Silent Hill movie. It's for people who like watching other people play Silent Hill but don't want to play it themselves because it's too scary. It's for people who like Silent Hill but don't want to commit the brain power to looking into the depth of it. So me, I've never played a Silent Hill game, but I've seen it played. No, honestly, it's not for you. Because you're too media literate to be able to appreciate the game. You'll see all of the potential that this game has, like I did, and be pissed off that it was burnt to the ground by people who have no idea how to make a fucking Silent Hill game. If you want to play a Silent Hill game, go play the Silent Hill 2 remaster. Go play Silent Hill 4 The Room. Those are my suggestions. Both of them are completely and totally different takes on the Silent Hill formula, and both of them are absolutely fucking exceptional. I even extend that to regular Silent Hill 2 as well, not just the remaster. They're all unique, they all feel different, and most importantly, they're all true to Silent Hill. If you want to engage with Silent Hill for the first time, Silent Hill 2 or its remaster or Silent Hill 4 The Room are your best bets. I can't recommend Silent Hill 1 because it aged like sour fucking milk, despite the fact that it has a cherished place in my heart. And I can't recommend Silent Hill 3 because you need the context of Silent Hill 1. And also, there are a lot of thematics in Silent Hill 3 that make me very uncomfortable being discussed. And especially for women, I feel like, yeah. Think Berserk and we'll leave it there. But otherwise, like, I don't know, man. Silent Hill Homecoming frustrates me to no end because there's so much potential for a good game. So many things it does right. It actually works well. But the rest of the game is just an abortion. Ironically enough to be put, considering some of the thematics of the game with death and rebirth and all that shit. I kind of always wanted to try Silent Hill game. I'm thinking about picking up F, but I don't know if it's a good place to start. Honestly, Silent Hill F is seemingly pretty fucking good. Excuse me. Oh shit, that snuck up on me. From what I've seen of Kimmy playing it, Silent Hill F is a really good Silent Hill game. It does everything right. It's incredibly deep in its thematics. The monsters are all symbolically well designed and well executed. The game itself definitely covers the psychological aspect of the series that it excels at. I just don't know enough about the game to recommend it. That's my problem. I need to be able to play it for myself to be able to form my own opinion to decide. Silent Hill 2, I can tell you right now, it's great. I played it all the way through. Same with Silent Hill 4. Pisses you off at some points because the game is fucking confusing and a little bit unforgiving, but it's excellent. And the storytelling in that game is bar none. Everything I've seen about the Silent Hill 2 remaster proves to me that it's a good game. Everything I've seen about Silent Hill F makes me assume it's a good game. But I'm not gonna recommend something I assume is a good game, you know? I want to be able to say fully with my chest that it is good. Oh yeah, I should say Silent Hill 3 is also a good game, but again, the fact that you need the context of Silent Hill 1 makes it very hard to recommend. You know what also is a really good and somehow criminally underrated fucking Silent Hill game? Silent Hill Shattered Memories, the weird fucking one on the Wii. That's supposed to be like a reimagining of the original Silent Hill, but it's not. It's really not. It's its own separate universe thing. But like, that game, for being on the Wii, which, I mean, I'm gonna level. A Silent Hill game on the Wii was never going to work, honestly. Like, oh no, I'm scared! Better wiggle my controls as fast as possible! You know what I mean? Like, it's thematically dissonant. But, like, they go out of their way to make the game interesting and make the game hit psychological points that the other games in the series can't quite hit. And it makes the game really, really unique in its own right. Yeah, I know, right? Silent Hill in a fucking game on the Wii. Silent Hill Shattered Memories. And as much as I give it shit for being a Wii game, it does so many things right that Silent Hill Homecoming does wrong that I will stand here without a second thought and say Silent Hill Shattered Memories is a better Silent Hill game than Silent Hill Homecoming. Which I should not be able to say. Because like I said, oh no, better shake my Wii as fast as... You know what I mean? Oof. I'm almost ranted out here. But yeah, no, Silent Hill Homecoming is a game that had a lot of potential that was absolutely ruined by developers who didn't know how to make a Silent Hill game. Which kills me, because Origins wasn't that bad. Honestly. Silent Hill Origins was not that bad. Especially for a fucking game on the PSP, where, like, they had a lot of limitations to work with. Silent Hill Origins isn't that bad. They almost got it right with Silent Hill Origins. And then they fucked right off and made Silent Hill Homecoming and forgot about whatever they were doing. Oh god, I remember watching someone play a Wii horror game. I don't remember the name of it, but it was pretty much exactly that. Shake the Wiimote as fast as you can in certain directions to escape the ghosts. Was it like icy? Like ice and snow themed? Because that might have been Silent Hill Homecoming. I'm gonna level with you. Not Homecoming. Silent Hill Shattered Memories. I'm gonna level with you. Like, especially if you watched, I think it was Game Grumps. I'm pretty sure they played Shattered Memories. No, it was Japan based. Might have been Fatal Frame then? I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the Wii's horror backlog, mostly because, I mean, like I said, I don't think horror works well on the Wii because of interface issues. Also, you know, the fact that it's the Wii and the Wii as far as gaming systems go. But no, like I said, Silent Hill Homecoming frustrates the shit out of me. There's gold in Silent Hill, but it's gold you have to dig through layer upon layer upon layer of concrete and shit to find, and it almost feels like it's not worth it. So while I do recommend people to play it if they are truly Silent Hill fans, I will not sit here and say the game is good. It is flawed. It is irrevocably flawed. Not even a top-down adjustment of everything in the fucking game could fix it. Calling. I'll have to look into it. Definitely. But yeah, no. Silent Hill Homecoming is so bad, it's unfixable. you can't fix it because you can't fix the characters because there's no character to fix. You can't fix the plot because the plot is so flawed you'd have to rewrite it from the ground up. You can't fix the combat because the combat's the one thing the game does right despite the fact that the combat sucks. And you can't fix the monsters because the monsters are indicative of the series, need to be fucking replaced, and nothing could adequately replace them, are so perfect you can't touch them, or they're fucking Pyramid Head. It's absolutely amazing how bad Silent Hill Homecoming fails at being a Silent Hill game while having all the right pieces that could be put into all the right places to make one. That's Silent Hill Homecoming. It's a beautiful, unrefined gem that has been cut and beat to shit by amateur jewelers and set into a ring made of wood. It was not given the time, the care, the effort, or the respect it deserved and needed to be a quality product. And the fact that it even exists is a miracle. Because if I were fucking Konami of Japan and I saw this shit in development, I would have pulled that thing the fuck out and never, ever let a Western developer touch a Silent Hill game ever again. Apparently Calling is not a good game. It got like a 3.5 out of 10 on the... Jesus. Yeah, kind of leaning towards my theory of horror not working on the Wii, huh? which is funny because the Wii excels at games with violence. I mean, just fucking, god damn. Oh, what the hell is the name of it? Mad World? Yeah, just look at fucking Mad World. That game is gratuitous as fuck when it comes to its violence, but like the gameplay works perfectly because you're doing the motions yourselves. No, but I don't know, man. I really want to like Silent Hill Homecoming. I really do. There are parts of it that are so fucking good and so fucking well executed that I really, really do want to like it. But there's so much about it that is bad and wrong and inexcusable that I have to sit here with a straight face and tell you all that Silent Hill Homecoming is a terrible fucking game. No matter how much I want to say I like it, no matter how much I see the potential that's there, the way it was executed, the way everything pans out. Part of the IGN legit says, we're America, we've been making the children the vessels of evil for 40 years. Oh, that's funny. That's actually kind of funny. But no, Silent Hill Homecoming has so much potential, and it's all wasted. It's all wasted. Absolutely. The only way to salvage Silent Hill Homecoming is to take the bare essentials and the best monster designs and toss away everything else and start from scratch. I really hope that didn't come through my microphone, and if it did, I'm sorry. We had breakfast for dinner and I had eggs. But no, yeah, that was my Silent Hill Homecoming rant, everybody. It's a game that frustrates me to no end because as much as I want to, I just cannot love it. It's so bad that the parts of it that are good are weighed down and hidden and buried under all the inferior, terrible, horrible, no good, very bad decisions that turned this from a Silent Hill game into, I don't fucking know, subpar Resident Evil, I guess? Like, honestly. You know what's a better psychological horror game than fucking Silent Hill Homecoming? Resident Evil 7. I'm not even fucking kidding you with this. Resident Evil 7 does a better job at psychological horror than Silent Hill Homecoming. Do you know why? Because the answer is very fucking obvious if you've been listening to my rant this entire time. It's the fucking supporting cast. The Baker family are the best supporting cast for a fucking psychological horror game. Because they're all somewhat relatable. Except for maybe the son, who's a miserable little piece of shit. But, like, it makes sense when you look into their backstories and learn about them. You feel for them. Because they're turning into these things not because they choose to, but because they're forced to. And these things that they're becoming are indicative of who they are and what they represented to the person changing them. Unironically, Silent Hill Homecoming can't beat 7. 7 is the only Resident Evil game you'll never catch me playing. I couldn't even watch someone play because it's just that scary. Yeah, no, Resident Evil 7, like, aside from the psychological horror aspect, the game itself is also just fucking terrifying, and I love it. Fuck the teddy bear from the demo, though. Raven will never let me live that down. But, whew. Damn. After everything I've been through today, I'm out of fucking breath. I'm glad the rant's over. Oh, man. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. You got scared by a teddy bear. Yeah. Yeah, no. I was really on edge in the demo because of how good the demo sets up the atmosphere. And a teddy bear fell from a rafter in one of the sections, and it made me jump. I have no shame in admitting this. It sucks. But see if there's anybody I can read. Really, somebody. Oh well, that's fine. Don't have to raid into people every night. It's just poor Kimmy's laid up right now. But man, thank you everybody for coming out and listening to a big purple idiot rant about a game that he played a decade ago that left a big mark on an impressionable young ghost type. I know the vast majority of you, if you've never played a Silent Hill game, will understand what I'm talking about, but thank you for letting me bitch and moan and complain anyways. I have a friend I think he'd like if you do want to raid into somebody. Yeah, no, bet. You got somebody to raid into? Hook me up. Hook me up. I don't mind. I'd rather raid into people than just fucking end stream cold turkey, you know? Yeah, I'm tired and ranting and raving and all that shit. Oh, wait, shit. Wizard just popped on. Ah, Wizard just started. No. Okay, you got some. All right. I feel bad for asking now that I noticed that Wizard literally just started. So I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to flip a coin, and whatever side it comes up on, whatever side it comes to, we will choose who it goes to. That way, it's not up to me. It is entirely up to the hand of fate. Let me just bring up the browser source. Oh wait, right, that's not how I'm supposed to actually do. Oh. Range of the bed. Window capture, that's what it is. Capture. There we go. Alright, Toasty. Heads or tails? Heads. Okay. Tails it ends up being. The hands of fate have decided. Hey, she is a fickle mistress. Thank you for being willing to put up with that, though. I owe you a raid out to them, so make sure next time I have no one to raid into, you fucking yell at me to make sure I do it right. Okay? I fully mean it. Let me get to managers so I can actually raid out. Baller. Game. And that. Okay, there we go. It just told me it was invalid for a moment there. Fucking Twitch, don't you lie to me. Whatever. I said it before, but I'll say it again. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. I am very out of breath after bitching and moaning and complaining for 2.5 hours about Silent Hill Homecoming. And I hope me being this passionate about something I really wish I could love has been entertaining to you all. Tomorrow we will be back with some Elite Redux. I'm looking forward to it. I unfortunately will not have the time to update the party overlay, but our party members are named now. God damn it, Sucho. I can't lie, but I somehow slept midway through the stream, so thanks. Glad I'm good sleeping material, even if I'm fucking loud. Alright. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Stay warm, stay safe, and remember, April Fools! What was I April Fooling about, though? I'll leave that for you to figure out.